in the last video, we're able to create our head shape and our ear. So before that, I would like us to actually arrange these nodes properly. So remember we created some art layers like the line and the layer line as we group them into this, and also the photo patch too. So let's put them all in the reference, right? We're gonna put them all in the reference. That way, if we should move the reference backdrop, it moves everything around. So I want to create separate backdrops for all of these, right? But first, I want everything to be on one composite. I want everything to be on one composite. Alright, so like I said, I want to create backdrop for all of this. I want it all to be on one composite. So I'm going to create a head composite so that everything of this will be connected to one line, right? So Control H will bring in a composite. I'm going to change the name to head composite. I'm going to change it from the mode to pass through. Then I'm just going to plug it in from here, holding down the alternate key. I drag it across and I have it plugged in, right? I'm just going to arrange everything the way it is arranged initially. Right. Okay, so as you can see, it's all showing, but it's all on one. So I'm just going to rearrange this, select it and move it up a bit. Alright, so let us start. So I have this for my notes, and I'm going to insert, but first of all, let us create the backdrop for all of this, right? Let me create the backdrop for all of this. So I selected everything, including the notes and everything. Right. Okay, so I already have a composite for the head. I didn't even notice it, so I'm going to delete that since we already created one. I'm going to select everything except I'm going to select everything including the composite itself, and I'm going to go to file. Okay, so I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to go to backdrop. Right, so now I have a backdrop for this, and I'm going to name this head because it includes everything that I need for my head, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of it, grab it by the corner, increase the size of it, so I can actually separate these layers, right? So now I'm going to create backdrops for each and every one of them. So I selected the nodes. I'm going to go insert backdrop. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to name it nodes, right? Going to do the same for ears. So here's the thing: the ears, we have two separate ears, and I want them all to be one um, backdrop. So I'm going to create a composite. So Control H, attach it to this, change it to pass through to lighten the weight, and I'm going to name it ears com as a composite. So now I have that. So I'm just going to plug it in the way it was, right? So now I can select all of this, go into insert, select the backdrop, I change the color to something different, right? And I'm going to name it. We have ears, right? Okay. So I'm going to do the same for this. And as you can see, these two are also two parts that work together. So same composition, a composite, sorry, Control H, attach it to this, and attach it. Make sure it is plugged in the way it was plugged in down there. I'm going to attach this. Now I'm going to name the composition, and it was eyes. Alright, so select them both, go to insert, then backdrop. Change the color for that. And I'm going to name them eyes. Alright, so we have our eye here. And finally, let us work on the face. Should I call it face? Because this is behind everything. Give it a face. I'm going to select it. Set the backdrop. Change the color. Something different than what that we have. And right. So as you can see now, we have a nice backdrop here that contains everything. So my head is contained in here. Once I move it, everything moves along. Right? So assuming we didn't add a composite and you want to add it, just make sure you activated this by selecting it. Go to whichever part you want to add, move it into it, select anything else, and now it's part of it. Right? Good. Alright, so we want to max or trim the ears in a way that whenever it gets into contact with this part of the head, it photo patch like we did with this jaw and the face, right? Whenever it gets in contact, it photo patch. So we want to do the same with the ear, right? So now we all have our ear with one composite. So I'm gonna create a plug for you. Once I have the plug, I'm going to create my composite. So we are going to name that ear. That was the right side. I'm going to change it back to. Once I have that, I'm going to plug in the cable that came in from that end. Now plug it right now. So we have that. Let us do auto patching. So I'm just going to introduce you the auto patch tool that I have. I think it's right here. And just get it where plug it in and I auto patch it by the jaw. Right? And I do the same with the auto patch of the jaw. I drag the cable and I take another port. Go inside. Okay, this was the cable that we did. So let's use that. So as we have the extension of the ear to the device here, let us create our composite for that. That will be our ear. That's good. So I'm going to connect it so we have something to the ear. So I'm going to plug it. I'm going to do the same as we did for the head shape, right? So I'm going to click the cutter, place it just underneath the line, and then I'm going to cut it right here. So as you can see, we're working on this here. So taking it out, you see there's a line here. Once I plug it in, the line is gone. Right? So let us try and break this off and see what we have. Alright, so as you can see, once I bring it in front, it shows that is because it is being plugged in here. Right? That's because it is being plugged in here, which is in front of everything. And as we all know, boom boom beams from left to right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out, right? And because we introduced it here, there's a port that we connected onto this head line, which is the last one, which is not connected to anything. This you know. So the head line here is where our ear is being patched. So we have to plug it in, right? So I'm just going to plug it in. So now that we have this, as you can see, if I take it back, it works. If I think it is supposed to work. So what we need to do is to do the same thing that we did for the lower part of the face, which is the jaw. Now we have to do the upper part for the face too. So we're going to create another. Sorry, we're going to create another cable. So as we know, we are going to create another pathway onto this. So I drag the cable. So now we are working on the face composite, and that's where the other part is. So we are going to drag the cable, create another pathway, go into it, arrange everything properly, and let us do just as we did with the first one, introducing the composite, name it here. I think that will be the right, because we are going to do the same thing for the left. Right. Okay. So now, just as we did, we're going to copy the cursor, paste it right here, connect the cable. So we've done this for this part. So now we need to go to part this. Sorry. I'm just going to drag a cable, place another pathway here. So we are now going to go into this. And let me just bring in a composite for this. This is going to represent the ear right that we want to specify. Plug it in to change it to class 2. And like we did for the other part, just copy, cut up for the line art. I'm going to plug in this, which is plug in. And just like that, as you can see, wherever this part of the head comes in front of the face and the jaw is being cut. If I take it back, it still works, right? Alright, so you might want to work on this in a way that it comes in front, but because it can be easily moved around in the ear, I think we can leave it and just manipulate it as we go, right? Alright, so now that we have this done, you realize that this line here that is not supposed to be there. So we are going to try and kill two birds with one stone. I need the ear to work in a way that whenever it gets into contact with any of these shapes, I want you to have a little bit of a line art coming around this place. Not a full circumference, but something a little bit to show some kind of thickness or joining line. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to select the ear, right? Make sure I'm on my line art. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the line arts of this, paste it on the ear. So let us go to the drawing tab. As you can see, if I come to the line art, you only see the line art. And once I come to the drawing now, once I come to the overlay now, and I paste it, this is what we have. So I'm just gonna do some kind of cutting here, right? So now, sorry. So I'm going to copy the line art here. I'm going to paste it over onto the overlay art. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to find my cutter and cut section out, right? So what this does is, whenever this here when it gets out, you can see the full thing right there, right? And whenever it comes into contact with any of these shapes, see that there's a line extending. This is going to be very useful. Sorry, let me put it back. And let me reset this. Okay, the reset is not on this. Alright, so I'm going to place it back. And like I said, this is going to be very useful when we are working on. Let me go all the way back to where my reference is. So let me turn this thing on. It's going to be very useful when we're working on sides like this, in order to get that line showing right. So as we've done that, let me turn this off. So now that we've been able to do this for this year, we're going to do the same thing for the other year. Alright, so we are going to do the same for the other ear. So we are going to introduce this into this. We are going to introduce the ear, the second one, into the face group. So you press down the Alt to create another pathway. We do this so that we can be able to kind of have a connection between the group here and the ear drawing itself, because we don't want to copy it here. We just want to have that connection. So we create a pathway, and what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the first one. We're going to create a composite Control H. First one was the ear right, so I'm going to change this to the ear left. Alright, we change it to pass through. We connect our cable. So we're just going to connect our cables and plug it in. So since we're going to be doing almost the same thing, I'm going to be doing a lot of copy. So what I'm going to do now is going to copy this photo patch here, plug it in here. Since we'll be doing almost the same thing, just going to plug it, just going to connect the jaw first to this plug. So now I don't need to hold down the alternate since we already have the two plugs here. Plug in the jaw, and I'm going to plug in the face. And I think something is working. Okay, so we have this. Now we have to plug in the ear into the photo patches of this. So now we need to create another entry point. So we hold down the alternate key, pick another port. We're doing this for the face. So let me change it so we actually know which one we are working with. So I'm going to rename this to face photo patch as AP. Alright, and this will be the jaw AP. Alright, that's going to help us. So I plugged it into, as you can see, I plugged it right into the face now. So we're going to the face, and we're going to do the same as we did with the other one. We're going to create a composite. Let me put this aside, change the composite to pass through, rename it. And like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of copy and paste, so it's almost the same. I'll place it just behind it. Here, I'm going to copy another cutter for this. I'm going to plug in the ear right there. So as you can see, we worked on the upper part, so we do the same for the lower part as the jaw. So create another connection, create another entryway, and we are just going to repeat what we did. Another composite. Connect our keyboard, copy and paste, put in the cutter right where it needs to be. All the cutters are on the line at right. I think it could have been a better way of doing this. But anyway, before this started this semester. So now we have this. And in order for us to get the effect that we get from doing something like this, whenever it comes into contact with any of the face of the jaw, you see this overlapping line. If we do the same with this, you realize it's not active because we know that part, right? So what we are going to do is now is we're going to just come into this drawing layer, make sure we are on our line art. I'm going to copy, paste it on my color art, then I'll just create the incision where I want it. And now if I should bring it up front, I think our problem should be solved. Right? Yeah. Alright, so I just realized the problem. as we did with the other one, we have it already connected here, then we don't need it to be connected here. Otherwise, it's showing twice. So I'm going to delete this connection, delete this connection too. So now everything that we did with this here is on this port. And as we can see, this port is not connected to anything to show. So I'm gonna bring it in. So now this is what we have. Right? If I should take it back, it works perfectly. Or once you are done with one ear, you can just delete this and do the copy and paste special paste. So once we are done with one ear, this is the main one, you can just delete this, right? Do a copy and special paste of the other one. Then we plug it in. We add our static. Uh, we add a static conflict we did the first one, and it's going to work. But this is the other way around. So now we have this. Let me just turn on my reference and see what we need for our next part. So let me put on my dice too. Alright, so now we're going to work on the neck and the torso. Right? Let us work on the neck and torso. But first let us create some backdrop for it. So as we know, now that we are done with this is a master effect. It is outside. So let me create a pack for the head. I'm going to create a pack specifically for just the head. We have the head package. So everything about the head should be connected to that. Right. So we have the ears. Now, oh, if there's something that is in pairs, I always like them to be connected to one peg before it's connected to any other main peg. So I'm going to create another peg for this. So this will be our eye master. So that way, because they are pairs, if I should pick this peg, I know I'm controlling everything. So let me just reposition this pivot. So I have the pivot right there. So now I can connect this all together. So I'll do the same for the ears, a face, a view, like so ears. And just make the ear master. I think that'll be easier. Alright, so that will also be connected to this. Alright. I think the nose is outside, so I'm going to plug in the nose too. So we have place for the head. So whenever I grab this pivot, whenever I grab this, it controls everything. It's gonna take away everything. So let me just reposition this. That way, in case we need to do something with the head is always going to have to kind of tilt and transform around this one. So that's where you can actually turn or rotate your head. So that way, if everything is connected to this peg and I want to animate, I can just select on that master peg and I can move the head where I want it and how I want it, right? I think the peg is just off center, so I just need it right along this line. Yeah, right. I think that is perfect. So now let us create some few more backdrop and do. So I'm going to start from the neck and we'll do the close, right? So I'm going to insert a new backdrop and this time just make sure it's not selected in the backdrop other than that we want to create some kind of a container for it. I'm going to create a new backdrop. That is it. Then I need to change it to a color I'm going to use it. Alright, so we have this here. Just slim it down and name it. Alright. I don't think we're going to do much with the next part. Doesn't hurt to have it there. Right. And let me do the torso. So I need to create a new backdrop. Create a new backdrop. And where is it? Right here. Open it up a bit. All I just did was take it by the corner and click and drag by the corner to open it up. I clicked on it. I need to change the color. And this will be my torso. Right. Alright, so now that we have the torso, I'm gonna put in the drawings that we need. So now we need basically two, or should I say three. So with the neck, to put in a drawing when you are in the node view, just make sure your node view is activated. Press Ctrl and R, then you can enter the drawing. So with the neck, I need it in two parts. I need the neck itself, and so I'm going to add a group because I need another. So it's repeated. And I'm going to create let's say neck details, just in case we have some shadows or oh, I didn't accept that, sorry. Neck details. Come with that include that. Right. So I don't need them here. They're supposed to be here. Let me just expand this. Alright. So these are the drawings for the neck. I'm going to give them all pegs, so Ctrl Shift plus P to give them the big peg. Same with the torso, Ctrl R. Let me name it torso. With the torso, I need it in two separate parts. So torso, I need a front and I need back. So I'll let you know why I need a back too as we are working. Alright. So I need a back. So now we have them here. So just like we did, I'm going to give them text. And I'm going to make sure I select both of them. So I'm going to select both of them, set my property for many layers, open peg. So whatever peg I use for the drawing will affect the peg itself. Right? So I'm going to create a composite because I always like my layers to be connected to one thing. So first I'm going to change it to net. So we have it. Then I will plug it in, down. So the net doesn't really come with a head. So I'm going to plug it just behind the head. Right. Now do the same for the torso. We'll figure out where to place it as we go along. I already have it in mind, but I just wanted to explain it to you as we go. So that'll be good. Change it back to the next step. Alright. So as we all know, the Toon is from left to right, so definitely the neck is going to be seen before the torso. So let us start with the neck itself, right? With the neck, I'm going to draw them in two substitutions, right? So I'm going to turn this off because everything is connected to this. I can select this composite, press D, and we're going to turn off, right? So with the neck, I need it to follow the sketches I have here. So selecting this, I'm just going to introducing shape. Making sure my neck is selected, I'm going on my line art. Just going to create a shape. And I'm just going to try and edit it to fit that shape, right? There's some kind of an oval shape down here. So definitely in line with it. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy this, paste it up here too. I think this should do. Let me take it out of the layer. Alright, so I think this should do. I'm just going to merge all the drawings. So I'm going to merge the pencil. Now using my cutter, I can just paste this and this is what we have our neck, right? So we have this for the neck, and this neck details is usually for the shadows and stuff. So first of all, let us fill the neck with a color. I'm going to fill the neck with a color. So I'm going to create the color outline from the line art. I select this, create the color outline. Come to the color art. Now I'm going to go to my palette and select it again. Fill it with color. So now we have it on the color art, right? So we have this for our neck. The neck is supposed to repeat around here. So using this line as a guide to find the center, I'm going to position it case around here and move it out. That way the neck uh, alright, so this alright, so in order for me to find the center, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another sheet, right? I'll make sure I'm selecting this. I'm going to create another sheet and I'm going to try to match it with this drawing here because I need to find the center of it. I should have done this initially. This one way you can do it. So you try to match. Yep. So once this is a little bit okay. Alright, so once this is lined up a bit okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size by holding shift and alternate. Take it very low. I'm going to use that as a guide, right? So selecting this, use my translate tool to try and pin this in the center. Now I come back to the drawing, select that line, use it, I don't need it. So now I have my pivot right where I want it. Right. So let us do the next detail. That's usually the shadow. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shape for it. Right. I'm going to create a shape for it. The line art. So as you can see, we have the right in the line art. I'm gonna come to. I'm gonna place color outline, and I'm going to take the tone value for the skin, fill it in. What I'm going to do is I don't need this to show, right? All I need is for this to cut in this next drawing. So I'm going to change the positioning because I need it in front of this, right? Because I need the detail to come in front of it. So I'm going to introduce a cutter. So we are going to do it. We're going to plug in the neck right here into our cutter. So we can invert it. And as you can see, we have the color overlapping the line, and as we deal with the um, eyes, I'm going to introduce a line art. Use this to line art. So I'm just going to tell the computer to show the line art first before everything. Oh, right. So we have it. So now I can have some kind of shadow. Let me turn on the head. So yeah, as you can see, I can have some kind of shadow movement in there, right? But I need a shadow to be a little bit versatile. First of all, let me position my check properly. So I selected next details, and I'm just going to use my script to position it. And all I need for this now is, I'm turn this up so you can see what we're working with. All I need for this is I need it to be a little bit versatile. So I am going to create a 4-point envelope deformer. So making, go to envelope deformer, create a 4-point, and that is it. We have it that way. When I'm animating, I can actually make some kind of versatile neck shadow, right? All right, so we have our neck details, right? Good. So looking at this is our torso, right? Let me turn on the neck so we don't need it. This part of the drawing is our torso. So I'm going to draw it in a way that it follows this, because the body is going to be symmetrical, right? So everything that is here is going to be here. All right. So I'm going to follow that to draw the torso. So I'm going to come to my torso, make sure I'm working on the front part. And since everything is symmetrical, let me just copy this. Just copy the shape since I have it here. Just copy it down to the torso. Using my line out, I'm going to paste it, change the color to black. Then I'm just going to fill it in. And like I said, since it is symmetrical, I can just copy, paste, make sure I'm lining it up in the right position. Yep. Make sure I'm lining it up. Then I right click, using my selection. I right click, go to transform, and I flip it horizontally. I'm just going to move it to the other side. Since it's symmetrical, we shouldn't have a problem. And we have an enclosure for the torso. I will need another shape for this. So using the line, let me just scratch this. Okay. So the torso, I think I don't need this. I think I need one straight line for this. That should help further. I'm just gonna connect that from here to here. I just make sure that it going to select F to rate N. I'm just going to merge all these lines drawing and now clean up. Right. Alright, so they are merged perfectly. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Don't need the extension to merge. just need this to extend a little bit so I can do perfect tightness right there. Do just same with this. Extend the line a little bit above it so I can set it perfectly. And then same with here. Alright, so if I should turn off my reference for this, this is the total, right? And this on the liner, right? So I'm going to select this create a color outline for it, not my color, search for the color I'm using for the shirt. I'm going to fill it in. So if I should go back, turn these on, this is what we have so far, right? This is what we have so far. And using our script, I'm going to place in, let us change what is it? It's taking up too much space. Alright, so this is what we have so far. Turning off this. Alright, so using our pivot script, I'm going to set the pivot to the middle, but that is not where the total is going to repeat. Definitely not. It has to repeat from the down. I'm just having it at the middle, using my shift, just going to guide this total down to the bottom. That way we have it in this manner, right? So I'm going to copy this drawing, right, for the font. I'm going to paste it onto the back, okay? But all I need from the back is just a little bit around this place, right? Just a little drawing shape that extends just around here, right? Okay, so the reason why I'm going to do this is, let me go to the back better, right? The reason why I'm doing this is, let me fill it with color, then we see why I'm doing that. Right. Alright, so technically now we have two shapes here, right? Alright, so I'm going to copy the pivot for this. So it is not sharing the same property. Right? So, okay. I'm just going to open the drawing, the pivot, sorry, the peg. I'm going to copy this details so that they share the same thing. I don't know why they are not. So now they share the same. So I want this to also share same with this. I'm going to open it up with this. I'm going to copy the details here into that. So now let's share the same. This. Why are you not copying? I'm just going to copy the details from this peg onto this peg so that they share the same pivot. Alright, so we have it. So technically we have two drawings, right? One at the back, one at the front. Alright. So I do this because we might, assuming, let me create an envelope for this. because we are going to use a template. So I think I'll need one here and then it's top. I need one here, I need one at each side. I think I need up, so this is one, two, three, and only one, two, one, two, three, four, five. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So I need eight of it, so just wait and then go. Now I need eight. It's definitely not going to put it at the right places, but we're going to it and edit. So select this using a hammer and now move it to where you want it to be. I need one. I think this would have been better if we do it ourselves. So I think we could just create it ourselves. I select this using the envelope. Deformate you don't have it, just right click and make sure your deformation is turned on. So using a hammer now, I start my press. Now make sure you have your envelope deformation also turned on. That way once you're done doing it, you can actually close it. So I'm going to put it on here. The next one is here. I'll take that to make sure. Okay. Next one is right here. Okay, I'm dragging it. Sorry, I think I selected the wrong one. Just making sure it lines up perfect. However, the next would be somewhere here. Gotta make sure line up. It wouldn't be perfect, but it should be in the line, not outside it. I think I needed one to accent here. Over and another edge here. Like that. So we just keep working to make sure lining up perfectly. Yeah, I think we have one here. So here comes the reason why you should have this checked box. Because if they had not done this, you wouldn't have been able to close it. You can't close this information. But once you're done and you want to close it, you just hold the alternate and click on the last point. Just like that. Just like that, you have a closed deformer, what we call the envelope deformer. So let us just take the last 2 points that we just created. Make sure. Yep. Sometimes you need to go and check if the points are right. So yeah, we have it, sorry. And everything seems quite okay. Sometimes you need to extend this a little bit. That's quite a distance where you get from our second. So I'm going to do this in this. because we will be kind of distorting it. We need the handles are quite short to make the distortion limited to a certain region, right? So as you can see, this is what we have, right? Alright, so we have the deformation set. And like I said, there's a reason why we have this part for the toes, right? In case you want to play some kind of a fold, yes, let's say the character has some kind of a fold. That way it doesn't look flat. You can have this curvature in your shirt, right? Okay, so in the next video we'll continue with the hands and we'll continue with the hands and we'll continue with the masking of the neck into the color. And I think, yes, gradually we're getting somewhere. As you can see, if I bring this in front, which, which, alright, so see you in the next video.